What's up, Jermaine here, and I brought you on a little trip with me to go over some awareness tips. Now, a place that a lot of attacks happen are in parking garages, so that's where I brought you to. Now, I want to make a disclaimer and a note because you may notice some things about this parking garage. It may look familiar to you, and I am in no way insinuating that this parking garage, this particular one, is unsafe. As a matter of fact, it is one of the safest parking garages I've ever seen in my life. Very well lit, but it works good for my demonstration. But the first thing you always want to do here, and I'm gonna kind of flip so you can kind of see, is when you start pulling to any kind of place, anywhere, I'm the Terminator, and I'm looking. I want to find me a place to park, right? But I'm looking at vehicles, I'm looking at cars, I'm looking and seeing what's going on out here. I'm gonna give you, bird's eye view of exactly what I'm looking at. And I'm looking and seeing, there's somebody in the trunk of that vehicle, right there. Who knows what's going on right there? I'm just paying attention. I didn't even really get to see the person. I'm looking and seeing if I'm seeing any kind of fast movement. Is anybody running? Anybody looking like they trying to hide, duck, and dodge? And if you're ever in a parking garage, those dark ones, hit your high beams. What I do is I'll hit my high beams, and the first thing I'm gonna do, first of all, by finding a good spot to park in, I'm gonna always try and find, I'm recognizing this lady right here walking, but I'm always going to try and find and get as close to the establishment. There's always a building, an entrance that's going to be closer. Whether I'm going to have to go, through garage doors or whatever. I'm looking at this, see this person right here in the vehicle right there. What's that person doing? I'm always thinking to myself, what could go wrong? And I'm always trying to be prepared. So there's my entry point right there. That's where I want to end. So I want to try and park as close as I can. Now, you see in these groups of cars, these are hiding spots for attackers. All right, so even when I come up and I pull up, and let's say I find me a little parking spot. I see this parking spot right here. What I like to do is I'll hit my horn. It's just a little tap, because noise brings attention and it scares people. People who are trying to be sneaky, they hear that horn get hit. That's going to make them, probably, bail out, or at least going to make people start looking around. It brings attention. It kills the seclusion. So that's the first thing on, being aware. You want to be very aware whenever you look at, when you roll up, scan the area before you pull into the area, before you enter the area. Try and avoid any potential problems. Look at things, look around and say, what could go wrong? What could happen there? What could occur there? Stay away from vehicles with, dark tinted windows, vans and things like that look, you can't see inside of. Don't park near stuff like that. And if you're coming out to your vehicle, you see something like that parked near your vehicle, then you need to be prepared for the possibility of something to go wrong. I pull up and I say, okay, like, let's give me here, let me take you for a little ride with me and give you an example here. Okay. And so I drive down here, and here are the stairs. All right, now here's an area that always gets creepy, so we're going to go for a walk. So hang on for a minute with me. Let me park. Okay. Here I get parked. Stepping on my car. All right, first thing I'm going to do before I step out and take my keys out is look around. Is anybody walking up? Anybody approaching? No, I'm clear. Getting out. Lock my vehicle. And then even when I get out, I take a look around. Look around. Make sure nobody's out there that's trying to come, sneaking up on me. I'm going to the stairs. Now, look at this. I know this is a dark, gloomy looking area. When I say dark, gloomy, like I said, this is a great place where I'm at. As you said, it got a well-lit staircase. But look how many corners you have, how many potential attack areas that this thing has. So as soon as I enter this area, I'm prepared. I have my weapon in my hand, whether it's in my pocket or in my coat, but my weapon is in my hand because I'm not going to have a lot of time to draw a weapon to defend myself if somebody attacks me in this area. You're walking with me. Somebody could jump me from any corner right now. So my weapon is in hand, ready to go. Okay? So just remember that. You always want to avoid possible situations and be ready for a possible problem. So now I'm heading back up to my car. The same difference if I'm coming out of the place and, you know, I'm walking up these stairs, I got a weapon in hand and I'm checking, I'm going wide, cutting these corners, keep those corners wide, you know, so people can't sneak up on you. And I'm looking before I even step out there. I'm using every hole, this little window hole, this door hole, any hole I can to see if I'm seeing any kind of weird movement. There's my vehicle, you know, walking out here, here's the car by my vehicle, checking, you know, and it's not about being paranoid or anything like that. It's just about being aware. You know, you want to be aware. If you're aware, you won't end up in a situation where you have to defend yourself. So that's just a little idea, you know, a little piece for you guys, you know, on awareness. Like I promised you, just remember, you know, whenever you go somewhere, when you pull into the area, scan the area. Look at what you're about to introduce yourself to. What are you inducting yourself into? If it doesn't look safe, it looks shady, it looks like shady people, shady vehicles, get the heck out of there, man. If it's a dark, unsafe looking area, then you probably eventually somebody's gonna get attacked there, and it might be you. You don't have to go into that area, you know. And you want to look, you always want to avoid potential problems and be prepared and ready for a possible problem. You know, you're walking into something and look like, man, somebody could be hiding in there. Then the surprise should be that you got your weapon in hand and you're ready and waiting for them. So that's your lesson number 2 for self-defense from Jermaine Andre, Martial Arts International. On preparedness was number 1 and awareness was number 2. So stay aware, and that'll help you to stay out of the position where you end up having to defend yourself.